Michelle from Connie, and today I want to discuss what's what I hear all the time, which is I can't afford to go to Italy. And so I want to give some tips and hopefully change this for you. So, a few things before that. Unfortunately, in the United States, most people do not even own a passport. Believe it or not, that is a statistic. And an even smaller percentage, so even if you have a passport, that doesn't mean you actually travel. So most Americans have never left a country, which absolutely breaks my heart. I absolutely believe that traveling is extremely important and extremely crucial. I can go into detail, but I will spare you. Um, but I do believe that it is the most extraordinary bonding experience with the people that you love. And even if you travel solo, it's an experience of a lifetime. Um, you get to learn so much about yourself, so much about others. The world becomes smaller. You connect with people on a deeper level. Um, the education that you get from it. I mean, I can go on and on, but as far as for me, it's been very important, especially because of the bonding with my family, with my husband, and with my kids. It's been very important for me to travel. So, hence why I believe it is so important to go to as many places as you can, and travel as much as you can. With that said, like I said, most Americans do not, and I believe it's for many different reasons. One reason that I've noticed is many people in the states are very um, believe that happiness comes through um, material acquisitions. And I'm a proud American and I love being American. And so, um, and I used to, there was probably a belief, I used to believe the same thing. Actually, I know for a fact that I used to believe that as well, that a fancier car would make me happier, a bigger house would make me happier. And I've learned over the years that that's just not the truth. And so I really don't think that acquiring stuff, ever makes you happy. But I do believe that something that can never be taken away from you are experiences. Experiences such as travel, doing things with the people that you love, which is why, again, travel for me is so crucial and so important. So, with that said, I always get people that tell me, "Gosh, I wish I could travel. It would be my dream to travel, but I can't. I can't afford it." And when you see where their money is going and where it's being spent, it is clear that if they made some adjustments, that they could absolutely travel. And the story that I love to say is one of my dear clients passed away very early. She was only 40 years old when she got killed by a drunk driver, and her dream was always to go with me to Italy on one of my tours. And she was the type of person to always say, later, later, later. So next year, next year, next year. And then tragically, she was killed by a drunk driver, and later never happened. So, but her daughter, she left behind a 17-year-old, and her daughter decided to take the trip for her when she, years later. Um, and at the time, she was working at Starbucks, and within a year, working at Starbucks and then getting little odd jobs like walking dogs, she saved quite a bit of money because she didn't only want to go to Sicily, which is where I always take people, but she wanted me to take her to Florence, Venice, and Rome as well. So she had accumulated quite a bit of money to do this, and she did. And so I always think of her when people say I can't afford it, because the people that are telling me that they can't afford it actually have pretty good jobs. And when I asked her about it, she said, money is everywhere. You just have to know how to save and how to allocate the money appropriately. So I have been talking to people who say that they're going to come on my trips every single year. So every year it's next year for sure. This year I can't, but next year for sure. And then another year passes and they say, well, not this year either, but next year for sure. And literally, this has been going on for like 10 years. I wish I was exaggerating. And so I always tell people now, before I would just smile, okay, next year. And it's not for me. It's I go every year no matter what. It's for them because it does break my heart that they don't get to um, realize their dream. This is what they want to do. It's their dream to go, and they don't every single year. So I tell them, if you're going to continue living the life that you're living right now, if you're going to keep spending the money the way you're spending it right now, you're not going to come on this trip. You have to dramatically change your life and actually save the money, which most people do not want to save. They hate that word. It's the bad S word. Um, but the only way, and this goes in sync with my work as a life coach. This is something that I teach. I teach about money and how important managing your money well is. And it wasn't until I really knew how to manage my money that my business grew and opportunities started coming to me, more money started coming to me. It's when I really truly learned about saving. And the excuse that I always hear is, I don't have enough money to save. And the truth is, you can start with very little and just keep raising it from there. So you start with $1, and then with $2, and then $2 become 40, 100, 200, 300. My mentor, Dr. John Demartini, started like that, and at one point, years ago, was saving 100,000 per month alone in savings. I can't even imagine how much it is now. And so it's tricky because a lot of people start saving and then an emergency happens and they spend their savings. And so you have to be very disciplined and understand how important this really is. And this is for every area in your life, not just for traveling. I'm talking about managing your money well. It doesn't matter how much you make. It does not matter, I promise you, and I guarantee this. It doesn't matter if you make $300,000, if you make $30,000, if you make 10 million. If you don't manage your money well, you're always going to be in debt because you are more obsessed with spending money than actually learning about money, saving, investing, and growing your money. You're not obsessed with wealth building. You're obsessed with just the lifestyle that it brings, with spending it on whatever it is, stuff. Remember, in the beginning, I said in stuff. And so, a book that I highly recommend anybody that wants to come to Italy with me is called How to How to Make One Hell of a Profit and Still Get to Heaven by Dr. John Demartini. So again, How to Make One Hell of a Profit and Still Get to Heaven by Dr. John Demartini. And you can message me and ask me more about it if you want. But that book is what really changed my finances. And excuse me, again, it's you do have to have discipline. And the way Dr. John Demartini describes it is, we're running our life based on our top values. So if your top value is not money, when I'm talking about money, I'm talking about wealth building. If your top value is spending the money, you're always going to be spending the money. So the book goes into how you can make the wealth building a top value, how you can actually change that into a top value so that you actually are able to save, manage your money well, and maybe have an account for travel. And once you start managing your money well, once you start doing this, and you don't spend it, no matter what emergency, no matter what beautiful shoes you just saw, or whatever comes up, I promise you, you will have money that you never even expected to have show up in your life, and you will be able to do things that you've always wanted to do, such as travel. Again, because this is specific to travel. So I highly recommend that book, but I don't recommend to just read the book. I recommend to actually do what the book says. There are steps in that book. Follow it step by step by step. Again, the main gist of it is saving. Start with a little bit and just increase it, and then learn about investing and about how to make your money grow. And honestly, within a year, you should be have more than enough to come to Italy with me. And if anything, I'm not telling you this so you can come to Italy with me, although I would love that. Um, what I want is for more people to be in charge of their financial situation instead of feel like they're victims of their financial situation. Because again, I cannot stress enough that doesn't matter how much you're making. Right now, if you're making $10,000, 20,000, 50, 100, 300, if you don't know how to manage your money well, it's never going to matter because the money's going to come in and it's going to go right out. And I know plenty of people that are not making much, but they're doing pretty good because they have their money managed very, very well. They're very organized when it comes to finances. So, I hope this helps, and feel free to contact me all over social media. Feel free to message me, and I have many courses that I teach on money, and because that is an issue if, in many people's lives is money and not feeling like you ever have enough money to do amazing things such as going on one of my tours. So um, I just wanted to address this because again, I can't if I had a penny for every time I heard, I'm coming with you, I'm coming with you, I'm coming with you, and then their life never changes because they don't change their life. They don't change their lifestyle. They don't manage their money well, and then a year passes by very quickly. So a year passes by, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's almost time. You're leaving, huh? I still don't have money to go. I really want to go, but..." And it does break my heart because, like I said, I go every year. So it doesn't matter to me. I want to make sure that your dream comes true and that you get to go to Italy with me, and if not with me, with whoever, with whoever makes you happy, but that you actually get to do what you want to do. So, like I said, I hope this helps. Please feel free to message me and to get in touch with me, and